We got to embrace the future, not focus on what's constraining us, and we got to have bold and courageous leadership. So one of the things I like to say is step forward, don't step back. Step forward, don't step back. Where are the gaps that you have? Don't look at a gap, lean into the gap. If you see a problem, how can you help? Whether it's your agency, another agency, same thing with industry. Where are the gaps, right? Help us with the gaps. That's how we're going to be successful. So I want to know your thoughts today as we network and we get into breakout sessions. I want to know your thoughts about and hear what you're doing as a company and as an agency, and how your vision about the future of government either matches or doesn't match what I'm about to tell you. But I will tell you that we can't just keep running our government, our companies, our state, our agencies, our divisions, our teams in the same way year after year after year and believe that that's all good. It's not. We always have to be changing. We always have to be assessing, because if we don't, we're not going to be able to serve the public the way we need to. And that's our mission in public service. The day of integration. Integration everywhere. And I'm going to say this to our industry partners again. Integrate across your competitors. Those that aren't competitors, integrate, partner. Where we are going to integrate, that's connected government. That's connected government. We've got to integrate with our local government. We have to integrate across agencies. And when I say integrate, what do we mean by integration? Data is key here. Sharing data across the enterprise. If we don't do that, it's going to be difficult for us to really provide the services we need. Integrate systems. So we're not duplicating systems all over the state. Services. Enterprise services. Making sure we're integrating across the state. We have common services where we can. Integrating people, integrating offices, and integrating with local government. This is the future of government, folks. Integration.
Talking about change, and we're talking about how can we accelerate change. My own program, one of my own programs, the Enterprise Cloud Computing Program. How long has cloud been around? I can remember it starting to surface in 2000, and we are now starting to formulate over the last 5 years state strategy around this. So change is hard. So how do we accelerate that?
We often feel paralyzed in the state agency on moving forward because we, different public scrutiny or afraid of some new technology that's going to create another problem that we didn't anticipate. That shouldn't stop us from continuing to figure out ways to move forward.
I think, in this time of great change at a speed that we haven't seen before, this is an amazing opportunity to double down on the basics, on the foundation of creating a culture that allows for change and an environment that really brings the best out in folks.
It's a tale of two cities where we have two auspicious families, the Montagues and the Capulas. We are star-crossed lovers, fated to the bitter end, right? But here's the trick, is let's learn from the mistakes of the past, and let's get stronger together so we don't have to die again.
We are here today to talk about Wanaco and taking that from a vision to almost reality coming very soon. But it did start with a vision that Bill shared of creating an Amazon-like experience in government. It's not a new problem that we're trying to solve. I've been working with government for over 20 years, and we've been working together to try to solve problems like this for over 20 years, right? But now is the right time. And it's the right time because we have leaders who are leaning in to focusing on customer service, to prioritizing customer experience. And we have a governor who's leaning in to customer experience, and an awesome, so exciting new executive order from the governor requiring us to be here and do this. And we are set up to do it. So really, we together are turning that vision into a reality as we build the future experience for customers on What.gov. We are aligning with that CXEO to amplify access and ease and remove the barriers that stand between our customers and them getting the vital services that you all provide.
As you just heard, there are a lot of different experts required to put together a digital product or a service. And to get all those people rowing in the same direction, we've got to have a really good vision. And it has to be clear. And the base of it, the key of human-centered design is that the base of that vision, it does revolve around an actual end-user need.
Our scientists, DFW scientists, can go out in the field and bring 80 terabytes of data in one season, and it's mostly drone, underwater ROVs, game cameras. So, and then our scientists come back 18 to 20 hours a week, eyes to monitor throughout that footage, then they identify where which species is, and then convert it into an access database. There's a better way to do it. What we are doing with help of Jason and University of Washington, we are doing 2 computer vision ML projects where, for one, the game cameras, the students are going to create an ML where they are able to identify species from that game camera footage.
So on the left hand there, that is our current APRA screen that our employees are working in every single day. A lot like Atari. I don't think many of us miss. I do miss Duck Hunt. And then there on the right is a modern ERP solution that we're embarking on with Workday, right? So when you think about the lessons learned, I think one that I will carry with me forever going forward is that it is so critical for us as states to not let things get this old, because the modernization is so much more difficult when you are dealing with technology from 40 years ago. There are not people going to school right now who could come in and help us support these programs.
What we have to start with is the human impact, not just the technical specs, because we always forget that, how it's going to impact the staff that is going to support that, right? Or how it's going to work. As IT leaders, CISOs, managers, directors, and everybody, it's our responsibility to guide people through this change.
One of the more collaborative efforts, along with the saw replacement, which I thought was also fantastically run, everybody participating and building on what other folks have done. So it is not a silo. It is not about us versus them or me versus you. It's ultimately what do we learn collectively, and how can we pass that knowledge on so that the next agency that's coming into the pipeline doesn't have to reinvent the wheel and discover everything that our groups have already discovered.
But we were looking at doing a lean process to invoice payment, because a huge part of what commerce does is invoice payment. They put grants, those grants get paid, there are invoices from the grant recipients for the money that they are receiving. It's just a very routine, very big part of their process. And we put the process map up on the wall in one of the conference rooms and worked through it. And it was massive. There was over a dozen handoffs for every single invoice. I want to say it was like 17 handoffs or something like that. It was this person checking this person, and this person logging it, and then this person checking the log and all that sort of thing. And they started to make that change. And they said, this is what this process, we want to condense it to. And all of the people who processed invoices started to fight it because they were taking away their work. And they're like, you're just going to make their jobs go away. Very rational thing to say. And Rogers did a fantastic thing. He wrote to the whole organization. So this is the director of the agency writing to the whole organization, who says, we are doing lean efforts. If our lean process produces an outcome that eliminates your work, we will find more meaningful work for you that you can do well. He made that promise to the staff, and we did that. We had a couple of finance people who actually ultimately ended up taking on more responsibility in different areas because their capacity had been freed up, and the organization had been empowered to take those human resources, which are incredibly valuable, is very hard to get in the state, and use them to do more meaningful work.
Commitment is really like essential in this practice. The things that I've seen really makes such a massive difference in a couple of things. One is teams can make commitments to things. Managers don't make commitments on behalf of teams in an agile culture. Teams make their own commitments. They commit to the amount of work they think they can complete, and being able to deliver that at a measure of quality that's agreed upon before you start, right? So you're not going, is this good enough? I'm not sure. And you're checking frequently. So I also find delivery frequently has made a massive difference for us in vendor performance and being able to monitor vendor performance. So being able to see, did we get where we needed to go every 2 weeks instead of did we get where we needed to go 6 months after we put effort into a huge thing and realized, nope, completely not the right thing.
The environment wasn't supportive, and how did they get there? Individuals at all levels of the organization had developed an us versus them type of mentality. You had product folks against developers, business analysts versus stakeholders, and even FTEs versus contractors. It was very easy to blame the lack of working software on a lack of resources, overcommitment, not understanding the work that others did, and any other fill-in-the-blank reason, rather than making a conscious commitment to self-reflection and self-awareness. And we got them into an agile mindset by rebuilding the trust in the team. This was from a management's perspective, so that the team felt empowered and motivated, and not just on a team level, but on an individual contributor level as well. It looked like not having managers be at Scrum meetings. It looked like having the stakeholders not contact the developers for daily status updates. We did this so that the team felt the trust rather than just empty words. It's hard to be empowered and trusted if your manager is constantly second guessing you in the name of transparency. We consistently, consciously made it an environment where they were trusted to get the job done and then got out of their way.